painting you see behind me is a painting that I painted actually a while ago when I was making a whole series of J-class boats. And the J-class is one of the most beautiful boats I've ever seen in my life. They're narrow, they're long, they're like a beak of a bird. And it's not a big class. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar boats. And a friend of mine just had the drawings of this fair and built a new one from scratch. He had the drawings, but the boat was never built. It's a famous class. They were sailing the America's Cup, and the British wanted to win the America's Cup, and they never could. But that was what they built. Actually, it was during their depression. Think about it. Multi-million-dollar boats, while people did not have anything to eat. That always seemed the case, a little bit. That's human culture, I think. Not necessarily nature. Anyway, this painting I made in oil on linen, and it is 36 inches by 48. And I'm going to drive next week in my car, bringing this painting and a couple of other paintings to a woodworking shop. Because when I was in Black Mountain, close to Asheville, we walked into a small store in Black Mountain, and there I saw a model of a J-class. And the owner of the woodworking shop was actually so excited when he saw my paintings that he says, "Yeah, you can hang him here on the wall. Let's see what happens." Well, who would have ever thought that you could find the carpenter who worked on the J-class boats with woodwork, you would find that in the middle of the mountains in Asheville. I never had thought anything like it. You know, sometimes I really bitch about, and I'm sorry to say the word, that I don't have enough wall space to hang all my paintings. The walk to the galleries, the relationship to create with galleries is almost a painful one. They have so many artists, and so many artists have a gazillion paintings in their house. And galleries cannot hang them all on the walls. And then they actually only can support the artist that will bring in the money, because they have to pay the rent. It's not an easy job these days, especially like in Florida. The rents have tripled, the real estate has tripled. Now the galleries either have to close, or they only go with the artists that can support them. I don't blame them, but for artists it makes it a little bit hard to find wall space. So wall space is something very important, because you have to be out there. You have to show your work somehow. Now, I'm not necessarily for hanging paintings in a restaurant, because people go there to eat. They might say, "Oh, nice painting," and then what's for dinner? Because they're hungry, they want to eat. They don't care really about the decoration of the restaurant. And the owner, if they're making tons of money, they're very often not really involved in the decoration of the place. Then they say, well, they come for the food, they don't come for the color of the walls. I don't think this is 100% true, because very often restaurants are loud. You hardly can hear each other when you would have paintings. Even what I used to do was put insulation material in the back of the paintings, so it would lower the decibels that are normally in a restaurant, especially in America. Maybe they do that on purpose, so you eat and you leave, so they can turn the table a couple of times instead of you sitting there really comfortably and having a great time, then they have to double or triple the prices for the meals. So I don't know what the truth is. I might try some restaurants to hang paintings, but all of this is kind of tricky, as you can understand. So for artists to be out there is kind of the big game. You can't put your paintings on the website, but how often do people see your website? How often are they really going to that address and scroll through? Because, you know, everything goes so fast these days. The attention span of people is like 1 or 2 minutes, and then they move on. And they can watch movies for 2 hours, but that's a movie. The trailer is not 2 hours. So to get the attention to the artist's work, to whatever they're doing, whatever is important for them, is kind of hard. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't do it. They really should do it, and I'm doing it just for the richness that painting gives, and how it gives meaning to life experiences. That's the same for writers. Again, that's also the same for everybody else who wants to express a deeper meaning of what really is happening. What is happening in this world? While I'm drawing, and for example, I go to Venice, I sit on the street, I make a drawing, I take in life. I meet people, I talk to people, and I rather do that than go to a bar and have something to drink, and maybe have a lot to drink. And then, but I'm not really taking in anything. There's some emptiness there. When I sit on the street and paint, I don't have that. Now, to make the drawings, the paintings of boats and the ocean and the water and the sky, that is a life experience. I sailed once from Rotterdam to the Azores, from Azores to Portugal on a wooden 2-mast yacht. And that was an experience that I'll never forget. Because once you're out in the open, there's no horizon in sight, then the air pollution is gone, the sound pollution is gone, the sky opens up so tremendous with the Milky Way that is so clear, of course, on a cloudless night. And I have to say that the ocean is more and more polluted now every day, and that's a shame. But that's not something within my power to change. To be on the ocean has a purity of experience that I've never seen before. It has such tremendous freedom. But at the same time, to keep the ship going on a steady pace, and we were in a race, the Rotterdam Azores race, the watch shifts are very regulated. Life on board is very regulated. And that's a good thing. I love that. I love that kind of structure in my life. As an artist, I have all the freedom in the world, but I keep to a strong structure that gives order. I personally like it. A lot of people don't. They want to do whatever they want to do at whatever time they want to do it. I have that a lot less. Although to have unstructured time during the day between meals, meals are my biggest structure, I would say, and also bedtime. The time I wake up and the time I go to bed. But for the rest, there's a lot of playroom, and I like that. If somebody calls, and nobody calls anymore out of the blue, but anyway, if somebody does, I mostly have the time to go and have lunch with somebody, which is fun. That is my personal freedom. I like that. Being on a boat, you cannot paint. There's no way. So it has to be from photographs, but the memory of the sky and the water and the ocean and the swell, that comes, I don't know, I observed so many waves. It is almost like a photographic memory that I have developed over the years. So this is one of the paintings. It's setting sun, and to me that has also a deeper meaning, coming to the end of life. I am not 15 anymore. I don't have a whole life in front of me. I know more or less what to expect. And during this setting sun, while most of my peers are going to retire, I'm starting out. I leave port for the first time. I feel like I am going to do something that I've never done before, but now I have such a tremendous knowledge of the world, of my own capacity, of all the possibilities that I have as a foundation, and maybe also how I can expand on those, try new things. I mean, when the boat leaves the harbor, there's never a set life out there, because the weather changes everything, the current. You can make a calculated path, and it is all full of calculated risk, but that doesn't mean that you know when exactly you will arrive at the next port, or even if you haven't even set a port, where that will be, because you will figure that out as you go, and you course correct as you go. You might even say during the trip, "Ah, I thought I wanted to go there, but now I changed my mind. I'm going to go there." That all is possible. And that's how I feel today. And that's why this painting is actually very meaningful to me. I am setting out on my next journey, and I'm excited about it. And I'm also nervous about it, because there's so many unknown factors. There's so much uncertainty. But I learned also how to embrace that, and to rely on my inner compass. I've never done that before like this. And maybe it's good that the Hurricane Ian came, and I was kicked out of my house, and I'm at large. I'm literally at large at the end of my life. And maybe for many people I'm living a nightmare, but I don't feel it that way at all. I think I still have the energy, I feel good, I never want to retire in the first place, and I'm excited to see what I can do with all that I have learned during my life. So that's, to me, a little bit the meaning of this painting. Paintings for me always have deeper meanings. Even when I'm just drawing a plant, I fantasize about what is going on with the plant, what is going on with the environment, what is going on with the day. Is there a mood? Is there high contrast? You know, all these things come in my mind when I'm drawing and painting, and very often also I just let those thoughts go and not paying much attention to it. But when I come home, I say, oh, this is what it's about. So this painting will be in my car when I'm driving to Black Mountain, and it will be there until it's sold, and then I'll make a new one. And maybe I will have a new studio in which all the magic can happen again. Please follow me whenever you can. Become a patron, support my life, and you will get videos. I'll see you next time.